go back. We're back in Algonquin Park. We started off at access point number 11 on Opeongo Lake. The ice has been out for over 14 days now, and of those 14 days, it's been raining for more than half of them. But as luck would have it, the forecast is looking much better for this trip. Earlier, we started off taking the Algonquin Outfitters water taxi to get across Lake Opeongo. Because being the biggest lake it is, it can get quite rough sometimes. But today was some of the calmest water I've ever seen. It was a smooth trip across the lake, and that will help us get that much further into the backcountry. We said goodbye to our canoe driver, and now it's time to jump right into the deep end and start off with a 2,000-meter portage to get to Happy Island. Considering how early in the season it is, the portage had already been maintained, and there were even some new boardwalks. So we knocked off the first portage, paddled across Happy Island, reminisced of the plaque that we saw on our last trip. Right over there is the memorial plaque that we saw last year on our 15-day trip. And then it was on to our second portage, which had a few more obstacles than our first one. Everything's still pretty dry, but there still are some obstructions. Other than that, it's been pretty good. 10-day trip takes a lot of space in the pack. I ran out of room. I gotta carry this in my hand, at least for the first few days, until we can eat away some of that food. Now we're on our way to Otter Lake for day number 1, and hopefully that leads us into some prime fishing spots, and maybe we can catch a fish or two. But if that's not the case, here's a quick look at some of the food I'm bringing for this trip. Some high calories for breakfast, lots of snacks, and my dinners mainly consist of my own dehydrated meals, varying from pizza, pasta, any mac and cheese, chili, and a 3-cheese pasta shells. All this should be plenty enough to fuel us throughout the trip, and all that's left now is Scout's Pick of the Week. What's it gonna be, Scout? What's gonna be, Scout? Scout, get it, get it, get it. Bring it, bring it, bring it, Scout. Bring it, Scout. Bring it, Scout. Yes, good job. Gourmet barbecue liver chips full of drool-worthy flavor. Let's give them a try. Take it, Scout. Good job, good job. Keeping with tradition of previous years, each new season starts off with adding a new sticker to the paddle. Joining up with Canoe Hound Adventures, Last Lakes, Explore the Backcountry, and Mr. Kevin Callan himself is a creator duo that have been captivating outdoor enthusiasts on YouTube with their month-long expeditions, following traditional canoe routes. Whether it's crossing Labrador or gateway to the Arctic, your expeditions never seem to disappoint. Representing 2023, Northern Scavengers. Thanks for keeping us entertained, and I'm happy to support. And it's only fitting that this sticker be placed right next to your Uncle Kev. I hope everyone had a chance to watch Gateway to the Arctic. They ran into a bunch of challenges, but man, the fishing was phenomenal. And now it's time for us to get on with our trip, because our next portage is right there. Okay. Good job. Okay, we still got an 1,800 meter portage and a 500 meter portage to go. Looks like it's gonna be a late night. I'm starting off with the packs. We're doing double carry just in case we run into any obstacles like this. So I know what's ahead to start off with. And then when I come back for the second trip, I can be prepared. So this is gonna take a little while. I'm gonna finish these off. They seem to be scattered with moose poop all over the place. Looks like the moose were using this as a highway all winter. So me and Scout are gonna take care of this. And also Scout's got a new badge for her backpack. Go check it out. At 1,800 meter portage took an hour and 40 minutes doing the double carry. One there, one back, and then one back again. And now I'm beat. I'm looking for a campsite, but we still got a 500 meter portage to go. First day's the longest day. We'll get there, we'll get there. This is the second time that we've been here. If you remember from our last trip, at the end of the portage there, that's where I found the sinkhole. I think we saw a moose over there. And now, final portage right up ahead. All right, quite the start to the 2023 camping season. We finally got a campsite. I took the first available on an Otter slide. There was no shopping around. I am beat. We got some Annie's macaroni and cheese. Got my tent set up over there. I think we might have covered 20 to 25 kilometers, but that is with the 10 or 15 kilometers of the water taxi. There is one hiccup though. My water filter doesn't seem to be filtering the water too well. Luckily, I got some aqua tabs, or we're gonna have to boil. And I'm gonna finish up my mac and cheese, gonna wash my dishes, throw the water in the back, and then we get to do it all again tomorrow. Back on the water for day number 2. We got another beautiful day, blue skies, calm water, and we're making our way to Big Trout Lake. In order to get there, we got 5 portages to do, but they're much smaller than yesterday. And I think on our way there, we're gonna troll a Williams wobbler, see if we get any luck. Well, no luck this time. Time to reel in, because our next portage is right over there. Okay. Yesterday was a tough day. I'm still feeling a little sore, that's for sure. Luckily, they're just a bunch of short ones. I think the longest one is 700. I think there was a nest there. I think the whole idea of that was to distract Scout from going to the nest because there was no need for them to move. It was a decoy I think. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Alright, all the portaging is done for today and tomorrow because we're on Big Trout and we're booked here for 2 nights. We weaved in and out a bunch of those creeks, we fished some spots, but unfortunately no fish except for that one sucker which was garbage. And now all we have left to do for today is go find a campsite. Today went a little more smoother than the first day. We still had a few challenges along the way, but we were able to get to camp much earlier, able to get my clothes dried out over there. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this summertime weather that we're getting in spring. One thing to point out is that the bugs have come out. The black flies are here, but they're not biting yet, so give it a couple more days. It will get kind of crazy. Also, my water filter seems to be working now, so that's a plus. And I think that's gonna be it for day number 2, and we'll move right in to day number 3. Another great start to the day. We got some calm water out here on Big Trout Lake, and I think it'd be a shame not to take advantage of these conditions. So I think even though we're booked on Big Trout for 2 nights, we don't have to move this from this location, but I think it would be a good idea to break down camp at our leisurely pace and go for a slow paddle to see what other campsites we can find. But first, we need to feed Scout. Scout, get your bowl. Good job, Scout. Bring it, bring it. Good job. That's a good dog, Scout. So we'll get something to eat and we'll see you back on the water. Take it, Scout. All right, good job, Scout. You got a great start to the day, that's for sure. This site's huge, tent pads everywhere. Lots of room, man. Nice views. And even a beach, right, Scout? Get it. You ready? You want it, don't you? You ready, eh? Yeah. Okay. You got it. We're really lucking out with these conditions today. Nice calm water, partly sunny sky, nice and warm, and we get to travel at a nice slow pace and just do a little more exploring on Big Trout Lake. It's another campsite from the past that I'd stop by and see how it's holding up. I was here many years ago. I wonder if that tree was down last time I was here. Maybe I got some old footage I can check out. Anyways, time to get back on the water, continue exploring. Big lake, big lures. Let's see what happens with this one. Look at the size of that. No, it's not for you, Scout. It's not for you. Let's hook this one up, see what happens. Let's give it a shot. Big lure hooked in already. Let's see what we got. He saw the boat now. We got him. We got him. Wasn't even expecting to catch that thing on that big lure. There we go. How do you like that one, Scout? That's a good one. Okay, we're gonna take this one to shore and bonk him out. I guess big trout lived up to its expectations. That's a nice one. About 21 inches, I think. So I guess we'll try it again. See if it was just lucky or if this is the lure to use. We just came back from getting some firewood. We cleaned the fish way over there, far away from the campsite. Now we got a burning hot fire, starting to prepare our freshly caught trout. And we're gonna have some rice on the side. It's finally time to test out our freshly caught trout. It was a nice paddle across Big Trout Lake. I don't think it's usually that calm. We've got some wild rice, some trout, and some Frank's hot mild sauce. And Scout gets to try some trout too. Give it a try, Scout. Take it, Scout. Good job. What do you think? What do you think? Good stuff? Good stuff, eh? And I think that's going to be it for day 3. Not a cloud in the sky for day number 4. We stayed on Birch Point last night, and today we make our way to Longer Lake. Separating us from Big Trout Lake to Longer Lake is a small 300-meter portage, and that's where we're headed. Sometimes you'd be lucky to get one good paddling day during a trip in May, but so far we've had 3 in a row. We're on a roll. Hopefully we don't jinx it. big trout to longer, 300 meters. Okay, let's go. Bit of a wind tunnel in here. Waves are starting to curl over a little bit. A little more challenging. Alright, we got our set on Longer Lake, a familiar site. We've stayed here once before. And if you can remember, this is where the moose swam across the little channel right there. Sniff it out. You don't see it? It's right there. There it goes. Also new this year, I got an extra large compression bag. Previous years I would have separate bags for everything. Now I just put everything in here. Pillow, clothes, sleeping bag, air mattress. Compress it down at the end of the when we're getting ready to pack everything up, and then when I get to camp I just dump it all out. And something else I got new for this year, this season, Goal Zero Crush Light, solar powered. I've been giving this a try for the first 3 nights, seeing how this goes. I'll show you later on when it gets a little bit darker. So far it's so good. I haven't had to power it up or anything like that. The solar power has been working fine. I'll show you that later. Some of these earlier spring trips and you realize that you're the first one to visit that campsite this year because of pine needles all over the ground and in the fire pit. It's good to do a little housekeeping before you start that first fire. All right, that's a lot safer. So when we first got here, I already started to rehydrate the vegetables and pizza sauce. Now it's time to get this fire started so we can get those pizzas in the oven. First we put the pizza sauce on that was dehydrated at home and then rehydrated here. And then up next we sprinkled the freeze-dried Kobe Jack cheese. On top of that is a mix of vegetables that were dehydrated at home and then rehydrated when we got to the campsite. And finally some bacon to go on top. Are you ready for yours? Get your bowl. Get your bowl. Bring it. Bring it. Good job. That's what dogs got. Come over here. Over here. Take it. Good job. And that's backcountry pizza. Back in for round number 2. Camping special. Buy one small, get one free. I'm going to finish this off. I don't think there's much more going on tonight. Hopefully we get a nice sunset. Talk to you later. Alright, as I mentioned before, I got my new light, the Goal Zero. See, it's nice and compact. I'll give you a quick demonstration. Charging spot right here. On off right here. 3 different levels. 1, 2, 3. Off. And then a double click for colors. We're off on day number 5 and we're making our way to Lake Muir today. And we even had our first moose sighting today. It was from a pretty far distance, but that's the first one of this trip. This area can be known to have a lot of moose sightings when all the lily pads start coming in. So we only have a couple portages today to make our way to Muir Lake, but this cool morning, the warmth of the sun is really helping out. There we go, that one would be a perfect eater. Put him right back. There he goes. Well, that's it for this spot. Let's see if we can stop by at an empty campsite. Let's scout. Run around for a bit. They're waiting patiently for me taking so long to catch a fish. Alright, we got ourselves a campsite. We stopped early because the wind picked up and it was quite choppy early on. This site is far too nice for our needs and it has tent pads everywhere. And it even comes with its own stockpile of wood. Tonight on the menu is stuffed 3 cheese pasta shells and it's time to get started. Pasta shells are just about cooked. Still have a little more time to go, all ready to be stuffed. Inside the pot is some rehydrated tomato sauce that I dehydrated at home. And now, let's put it all together. Inside the plastic Ziploc bag is some dehydrated hummus, some dehydrated ricotta cheese, some fake and bacon, and some Kobe cheese. I added some water in there to start to rehydrate it, and it's all ready to be stuffed into the pasta shells. Oh. Time to take a look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Some Parmesan cheese on top. Chipotle mango. There you have it, 3 cheese stuffed pasta shells. Let's eat! Takes a little extra prep to get everything ready, but once everything comes together, it is well worth it. Now, if you guys can just leave me alone, because I'm going to stuff my face with these stuffed pasta shells, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back on the water for day number 6. We're actually booked on this lake for 3 nights, so we don't have to move. But even though that was a top-notch campsite, we're going to paddle around and see what the other campsites are like and set up shop somewhere else. Scout, let's go. I'm not coming back for you. Good job, let's go. Scout, let's go. Good job, let's go, come on. It's getting a little crazy. Making no progress. Windbound for now. See you in a bit. Hopefully this calms down eventually. Just sit up here temporarily for now. Hopefully it won't be too long. We'll see. It's only 12 o'clock now. Well, 7 hours being stranded by the wind so far. We left a perfectly good campsite at the other side of the lake, and now we're stuck here at this bush site. We did some exploring and we got lost down a creek, so this day hasn't really gone as planned. So it looks like we're probably going to end up staying the night at this bush site, and the whole purpose of this planning this route was to have these 3 days on this lake so we can do some fishing, but so far we lost this whole day. Good morning, day number 7. We got up at first light just to see if we can make some progress to get to the other side of the lake. Conditions are still a little bit rough, but much safer to paddle on. It wasn't the best of nights sleeping in the bush, but that's all that we could manage at the time. And last night I skipped dinner, only had a few snack bars, so now it's time to find a legitimate campsite and get something to eat for breakfast. Well, that didn't take too long. 7:15 and we already got our campsite. But we better start to get set up because I think we might get some rain today. The wind has picked up again, but it's coming from the other direction this time. At least we didn't get stuck out there this time, and we were able to get a proper setup and a proper site. Trying something new today. We're actually having lunch today. We're having jackfruit tortilla wraps. I saw this product in the grocery store and I took it home and I dehydrated it myself. Like a good product. I don't know what jackfruit is, but we're going to try it out. They're low in fat, so they're easy to dehydrate. I started up the stove, heated up some water. We're going to boil that water, put the jackfruit and some cheese and some added corn and vegetables, dehydrated vegetables in there, into the pot cozy. And we're gonna let that sit while me and Scout play around, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna see what the stuff is actually like. Let's go. Time for a taste test. Kind of like a pulled pork texture, smothered in barbecue sauce. Tastes pretty good to me. I think it'll work. Well, I screwed up and we have to go back. Back to the bush site. I think I left my camera pole to the back of the canoe at that site. If it's not there, it's in the water somewhere. I can't seem to find it. The only thing is, once you get around this point, it's a lot more choppier. I'm contemplating whether I should go or not. at that. We got one. We lost one. Whoa, we're on the fish now. We found a hot spot. Found a hot spot. It's gone. He's gone. Good fishing here, good fishing. That's number 6. See it, Scout? Number 6. Okay, put him back. There he goes. One for me. One for Scout. Good fishing here. We finally found where the fish were. Been trying so hard. All trip, we finally found them. Took a while. We took a little detour to go fishing first. We spent a little more time than we should have. Now we gotta go find that camera pole before it gets dark. We're not gonna get to camp before dark, that's for sure. You gotta come prepared for everything in May. It's actually snowing right now. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's snow. In May. The moment of truth. We're approaching the bush camp. The bush camp. Is it in the water or is it sitting on the shore? What do you think? Let's go find out. Okay, Scout. Go find it. I think it's this way. At least conditions have drastically improved. We've still got about 45 minutes to an hour to get back, but at least it's much calmer. Ah, man, I don't see anything. Oh, look at that. There it is. Look at that. That's what I was looking for. It's there. We got it. We got it. This trip turned out to be pretty good after all. Found the GoPro pole and we got a bunch of fish. So I guess it was worth it. Now let's head back and eat those fish. I'm glad we went and checked out that spot. So far this trip has been a disappointment for fishing. I haven't been able to catch very much at all until we went to that last spot and it was a jackpot. Found tons of brookies over there. So now it's time to reap our rewards for having some rice and some fresh caught brook trout. And Scout, you get yours too. Come on, Scout. That's for you, yeah. Your catch. Take it, Scout. And this is mine. So I'm gonna finish this, and it has got a lot colder tonight. I don't know if you can see my breath too much, but yeah, it is a cool night. So I'm gonna finish this clean up and then we'll see you tomorrow. I don't know if you guys can make out that thermometer, but it's a chilly one. It's around 0 degrees. Today we're making our way back to Big Trout. In order to get there, there's a 2,500 meter portage, which I think is pretty tough. The good thing about this cold weather is that there's no bugs, but the bad thing is that my hands are freezing. So we got to get moving, and we're going to get on the water, even though it doesn't look too good. It's still pretty windy, and we're going to take down camp and get out of here and get on our way to Big Trout. It took us a while to get going this morning. The canoe had a layer of ice on the bottom. My neoprene boots are frozen. My shoes are frozen solid. It took me like 20 minutes to even get them on. This is a pretty cool night. I think 0 with the wind chill. Below 0. Things all froze up last night. It's a cold one. We need to get to that first portage, start hiking. Right now it's a 2,500 meter portage that we're on, but I'm not looking at it like a bad thing right now. I just want to get these feet warmed up. They're still frozen. Shoes are frozen solid. Couldn't even tie the laces this morning. But this is supposed to be a tough portage, so we're going to have our work ahead of us. Starting off with a slightly uphill section. So time to feel good to get the blood flowing down in those toes and finish this portage. It's going to take us a while. 2,500, we're in no rush. After everything starts warming up, so far it's quite a nice hike. Lots of hills, but the footing is pretty solid and packed down. Grab some birch bark, grab it while you can. Get the spruce stuff lying on the ground. Save it for later, but check out these views. Alright, bags are at the end. Still gotta go back and get the canoe. It's not as enjoyable of a hike now when you gotta carry the canoe. You're ready for it to be over. Canoe's halfway in. So we've already been here for 2 hours. 2 hours taking our time, taking breaks. But now we're ready for it to be over with. Good when you get to camp nice and early and you can get all your camp chores done. The tent is set up. I was able to get the clothesline up so my neoprene socks could dry out and won't be frozen like yesterday. The problem was we got back to camp after fishing so late. Everything was soaked and it went down to -0. We got all that taken care of. Scout's been fed. Good job, Scout. Bring it. That's a good dog. Good job. Good job. Stop. And now it's time to start my dinner. We're having shepherd's pie. My shepherd's pie is dehydrated ground beef and vegetables, some gravy, and I add in some olive oil to bring out the fat, and then instant potatoes with freeze-dried cheese and a little bit of La Grill Chipotle mango seasoning. Now normally on a spring trip you look for a campsite with a breeze going through to keep the bugs going away. But this site there are no bugs, so we lucked out on this one. Just a good place to sit down, enjoy a good meal, watch the calm water out front with the loons swimming across, and spending a nice quiet evening soaking in some of the warmth from the sun and enjoying the scenery. I think that's going to be it for today. See you tomorrow. We're back, day number 9. This is the fastest we've been able to break down camp. The fog is still rising off of the water. It's another cool day and we're making our way to Happy Isle. In order to get there, we have an 1,800 meter portage and a small one after that. And we'll be back to camp on the first lake that we paddled on. The sun is shining, we got calm waters ahead, so let's enjoy the day. Some of my favorite paddling to do is through these winding creeks. You have birds winding out in front of you. As long as the bugs aren't too bad, this is a good paddle going through these. And there's not too many beaver dams in the way. That also helps. There's one. That's good. See, everything's still frosted up last night. That's why there's no bugs. Go. That's all I got for now. I don't know, I'd say maybe we got about 600 more meters to go. But we got an obstacle up ahead, so that's why I put it down. I can't get by this with all this. So let's finish this off, Scout. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Jump over. Come on this side. Jump over. Jump over. Come on. Come on this side. There you go. Good job. I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. Now with the sun coming through and the early morning forest, it's getting into like the enchanted forest times. This is the best time of the day with the sun when it's peeking through the trees. Oh, nice. It's still perfectly calm. Should be able to troll on the way down. Look at that. This is it. The last snack bar. We trolled all down Merchants. no luck. Now one small portage to get to Happy Isle. Then we'll find a campsite. The last snack bar. Well, we found the black flies. Found the black flies. They're just coming out on the second last day. We can't stay here. We gotta move on. We just came to check this site out, but no, it's not good. No, the other sites were much better. Well, we managed to get set up on Happy Isle Lake. We got the campsite closest to the portage, so that gives us good chance to make it to our extraction point so we can pick up our canoeber on Opeongo Lake. We've got a few bugs starting to come out now, but it's the end of the trip, so it's not a big deal. And now it's time for dinner for myself and for Scout. Scout, get your bowl. Get your bowl. Good job, Scout. Good job. She's always ready. Take it, Scout. We had one misfortunate gear let down. My fishing reel seems to not be working so well anymore. The spinning gear latch function seems to be broke, but I didn't bring an alternate fly fishing rod, but there weren't many bugs out, so there weren't many fish rising, so I didn't even use it this whole trip. I bought it specifically for this trip for a certain area where I went to last year, and I saw plenty of fish, but they were only rising and eating the bugs. Scout's finished her dinner, now I'm having mine. I'm having dehydrated chili tonight with some tortilla shells. I just boiled some water with the stove and put it in the pot cozy for about 15 minutes to let it rehydrate. And it should be just about ready now. Chili rehydrates pretty well. And if I had some Frank's Red Hot sauce, I'd put that on here as well too. But unfortunately, everything else is gone. All I got left is one small portion of dog food for Scout in the morning on the way out. Dehydrating your own meals really saves you a lot of money. Some of these freeze-dried meals are like $15 to $17 per portion. It can get pretty expensive if you do a week-long trip. So that's why I like to dehydrate my own meals. You can pick and choose what I want and the portion size as well. But so our trip is coming to an end, and I think that's just about it. All we have left to do now is to make sure we're at Opeongo Lake for our 10:30 canoeber pickup. So I'm gonna finish this chili, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last day while we head out. Looks like that's gonna do it for another spring trip. We had some exceptional paddling days, we had some awesome campsites, and one campsite that wasn't so good. The weather was pretty good except for one really windy day and a couple cold mornings, but that wasn't so bad because it kept the bugs away. The bugs never showed up. The fishing wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, but it was saved by one brook trout hotspot. So hopefully you liked watching the video. Once again, I'm Jay, that's Scout. The channel's Jay's Way. Remind you to get outside and explore, and we'll see you in the next one.